Okay, so it's time for weekly rotation again. I'm not going to lie, it's been a lackluster week. I haven't found much to get excited about. I mean, not really to do with the perfumes themselves, because I wore some of my favorite perfumes this week. I just haven't. I'm very low energy today. I'm just going to get into it. I started off the week really well with two beautiful, well, I think beautiful perfumes. I know one or two of you who watch my channel regularly do not love this perfume here, Ensemble Mythique by Guerlain. But look, it is, first of all, one of my favorite rose perfumes, but this one is all about the ambergris accord in here with a little bit of the incense. So it's like, even though the name suggests mythical incense, it's not really about the incense for me. It's really about that gorgeous musky ambergris intertwined with the rose. I love it. Then in the afternoon, I went with now I think discontinued L'artisan Parfumeur. This is Zonka. So I know I've done a review I'll link to. This is kind of a relative to, I look at this perfume as a relative to Timbuktu. It's from the same perfumer, Bertrand Duchefort. Where Timbuktu reminds me of warm climates, humidity, moisture, Zonka is kind of the imaginary geographical opposite to Timbuktu. It's colder, it's a little bit drier. There is still a little bit of dampness in it, but rather than a warmer atmosphere, this has, the dampness is almost sort of puddles in stony ground, if you like. It's kind of ethereal. Monday had a bit of a theme. I think Ensemble Mythique and Zonka are a good pairing for that type of vibe. Who likes Mondays, especially in the middle of winter? So I kind of wore some melancholy perfumes on Monday. Tuesday comes along and I started the morning with one of my loves, Habit Rouge. I won't talk too much about this, other than to say that during the week, as an aside, I got to blind sample the new Habit Rouge Flanker Rouge Privé, which if you want to check out my thoughts on that, it was in the live stream I did the video before this one. So needless to say, I really enjoyed it. This one here, in the afternoon, I sampled a perfume called El Descanso by Frasai, Argentinian indie brand. Just going to spray some on because I kind of needed to be reminded of what this was like, because it's been a while since I wore it. I still haven't made up my mind about this. I like what I smell, but I don't really totally understand what I'm smelling, to be honest. There is a kind of milky woodiness to this, and I'm not sure quite where that's coming from. Like, I feel like there might be some sandalwood accords in here. There's a little bit of like an almost green stemminess to the wood as well. So overall, it's a really quite unique woody perfume. But I feel like I wore this one this week. I've been a bit absent-minded when I've been wearing my perfumes. Usually, I wear them. I wear my perfumes quite consciously. What I mean by that is that I'll smell them and, I'll think about what I'm smelling and be a little bit analytical. Whereas I've kind of had other things on my mind this week, and I've just sort of let the perfumes wear me and enjoyed what I enjoyed and not enjoy what I not enjoyed. So I'll give you more detail on this perfume, other than to say what I'm smelling now I quite like, but I really don't know quite how to describe it to you. Midweek, now an old favourite. I'm nearly through this big decant of Le Lion by Chanel. Needless to say, you know I love that perfume. And then I wore a perfume that I made a video earlier in the year about particular perfumes that I wanted to sample, just based on what I'd seen, read, reviews, people that I trusted talking about. This one is called Milky Dragon by Isabelle Larignon. I don't even know if I've pronounced that correctly. To me, again, like El Descanso, I still haven't figured out if I really like this perfume, because when I spray this on right in the opening, I get quite an anisic opening, like it's almost licorice-like. And then it turns into this kind of more butter than milk, I guess is what I want to say. I'm not sure I love the combination of the notes that I'm smelling. It is quite unique. I haven't smelled anything like this before. It's just taking my brain a little while to figure out if it's something that I could like. So I'm holding my judgment on Milky Dragon. We are now on to Thursday, and I went the morning with Eau Sauvage Parfum, one of my most worn perfumes over the last 12 months. And then I wore a sample of Hiram Green's Shangri-La, the most current version. So I think there was an older version, then he might have reformulated and re-released it in 2022. But essentially, it's a very well done, bright, Chypre style perfume with a bright peach fruity note in the opening, and then in a reasonably traditional Chypre structure, gets mossy in the dry down, and if you know a little bit about Hiram Green's perfumes, he uses all natural ingredients for his perfumes, and I think for an all-natural perfume, they can tend to get, like most of the ones I smell, apart from Hiram Green actually, it can get a little bit muddy and inarticulate in the notes when you smell them. But this has a very well-made, defined structure. It's a really, I find that it's a really sort of bright, cheerful Chypre, and not unlike something like Melograno from Santa Maria Novella. I really enjoyed wearing Shangri-La by Hiram Green, but I do wish it lasted a little bit longer on my skin, because I just enjoy what I was smelling. Okay, I think we're up to Friday. I went with a couple of bottles, something different. These two I have not worn in quite a while. In the morning, I went with Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, the only Prada perfume that I own. And then in the afternoon, something a little, this perfume by Maria Candida Gentile is Barry Lyndon. I've done a review of it. Essentially, it is like real pastel florals, like lavender, like there is like a honeysuckle floral. They're all very light pastel kind of florals, and there's also quite a green herbal anisic note in the beginning with it as well. And then it turns into a really soft, very subtle, suede leather base. And the one word to describe this perfume is delicate. And what I mean by that is you can smell everything going on in the development, but it's subtle. On the changes just sort of morph on your skin and without you noticing it. And it's not a monster projector. It's not a huge sillage. It lasts for about 5 hours on my skin where I can smell it clearly. But it's just a really beautiful, soothing, for me, calming perfume. Is like perfect thing for me to be wearing on a Friday afternoon, end of the work week, and I was pretty, I was pretty drained by the end of it. So, Barry Lyndon by Maria Candida Gentile. The weekend, yesterday I had a leather Saturday, so I started off the morning with Dam by Miss Gao, and then I had a Saturday evening with the Marquis de Sade 1740 by Histoire de Parfum. Not much to say there other than two very lovely leathers and very, very different styles of leathers. Like the floral leather of Dam, then this kind of fruity, boozy, dirty, tobacco, patchouli leather. There's a lot going on, but essentially it's kind of dark and oily and like a little bit hedonistic. Coming to today, this morning I sprayed another perfume that I had not worn in months, literally. This is Two Man by Comme des Garçons. Beautiful, unique style incense perfume. And the one thing I wanted to mention about this, and it gave me some kind of inspiration for a video topic, I guess, is that I was just reminding myself of the note pyramid for this perfume, and one of the notes listed here is kumquat, which is a type of citrus, I think. And I'm not overly familiar, well, I'm not very familiar with what kumquat smells like, and there is not really anything I smell in here that smells citrusy for starters. But I figured I'm going to try and do a video where perfumes that have not like kind of uncommon notes listed in their pyramid, and I'm going to try and get the actual notes they're trying to replicate and compare what I'm smelling in the perfumes to the real thing. I'll see if it's possible. Like, I was literally thinking of getting a kumquat and smelling the fruit and see if I could smell it in this as an idea. Okay, so my final scent of this week, and we're in July, also we saw off June. I think my mood this week really has to do with the fact that it's midwinter, and I don't know about you guys, but when I hit midwinter, I kind of have a bit of a low because all the good stuff seems so far away from me. I don't know. I don't know why. It's completely mental. I'm going to end my week by dropping a perfume. Take two. I'm going to end my week by maybe finishing off this sample of Les Indomodables Musc de Sable and just enjoying it. I probably won't do a review other than to say Musc de Sable is a kind of powdery musk. It's not particularly skanky or sort of dirty musk in any way. It's pretty clean, but it's powdery because I get a lot of benzoin from this. It's a well-made perfume. And I need to say that I have not smelled, other than one or two others, a lot from this house, which has got a lot of praise in fragrance circles. It seems to have a lot of fans. And this is perfectly well-made perfume. It is musky, a little bit powdery for my liking, but it is very comforting. I wish their sample sprays sprayed better, but it's kind of perfect for my Sunday night, just to relax, unwind, and I essentially smell comfortable, safe, warm, fuzzy, musky, powdery. That's all I've got to say. That's my last week's rotation. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of enthusiasm. Highlights and lowlights. What did I really enjoy wearing this week? I have to say, every time I wear it, I absolutely love Amber Porum Intense, and it's been in my collection for a long time now, and I've gotten no. I actually had thought about selling this bottle at one time, and I'm so glad that I changed my mind about selling it because I don't quite have anything like this perfume in my wardrobe. And like I said, every time I wear it, even if I haven't worn it in months, I just feel fantastic wearing it. And so that was the highlight of my week. I don't really have a low light because I didn't not enjoy anything I wore. There's just a couple, like as I mentioned earlier, that I'm still getting to know. So it was just a little bit of a non-flow perfume week for me. So hopefully next week, I'm in a little bit of a better mood and I can have a bit more enthusiasm in this video. Otherwise, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you soon. Bye.